Hello, Dinara.
Hi, James. What are we going to do today?
Today, what we're looking at is the IELTS listening. So it's a listening sample task. And in this one, you've got to complete a customer quotation form. So I'm assuming this is for a shipping container. So, you know, think of like a box that you're going to put on a ship or, you know, on an aeroplane or something like that. So, or on a lorry, of course. So what we need to find out is various bits of information. So, for example, the complete address, the postcode, the name of the person's surname, the size of the container, so the width and the height, and then the contents and the value is the information we've got to get out. What we'll do is we'll read that out for you. So, exactly. So I'll be B, you can be A. Okay. And we'll read it out.
Good morning, Paham's shipping agents. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm ringing to make inquiries about sending a large box, a container, back home to Kenya from the UK.
Yes, of course. Would you like me to try and find some quotations for you?
Yes, that would be great. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I need a few details from you.
Fine.
Can I take your name?
It's Jacob Mkere.
Can you spell your surname, please?
Yes, it's Mkere.
Is that M for mother?
Yes.
Thank you. And you say that you'll be sending the box to Kenya?
That's right.
And where would you like the box picked up from?
From college, if possible.
Yes, of course. I'll take down the address now.
It's Westall College.
Is that Westall?
Yes, college.
Westall College. And where is that?
It's Downlands Road in Bristol.
Oh, yes, I know it. And the postcode?
It's BS89PU.
Right. And I need to know the size.
Yes, I've measured it carefully and it's 1.5 meters long.
Right.
0.75 meters wide.
Okay.
And it's 0.5 meters high or deep.
Great. So I'll calculate the volume in a moment and get some quotes for that. But first, can you tell me, very generally, what will be in the box?
Yes, there's mostly clothes.
Okay.
And there's some books.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Yes, there's also some toys.
Okay, and what is the total value, do you think, of the contents?
Well, the main costs are the clothes and the books. They'll be about £1,500. But then the toys are about another 200. So I'd put down £1,700. Okay.
Great. Very easy.
Yeah, exactly. So let's, now we're going to find out the information. So I think it's best if we go through each point, 1 to 8. The points 1 to 8, we'll just do them one by one. So,
James, sorry, I have a question. I don't know what she meant when she said quotations in the beginning of the dialogue. So
a quotation is when you ask for the services of a company. So say, for example, you want some new windows fitted, or you want to have a new patio built, or, as in want to find out the costs of shipping some goods from one place to another, then you will ask for a quotation. It's when they will give you a price, basically, based on what your requirements and needs are. So that's what quotation is. Exactly.
Thank you.
So it's very common, especially for sort of businesses, private people might get quotations for things like, well, like I said, windows getting fitted, or if they want to put a new flooring into the house, for example, you might get a quotation. So you wouldn't just do it if you were going to fix your car, for example. You would, so you do it because, you want something that's a bit customized, you want to find out the price.
I see. Thank you.
So, and my general advice for tackling this, look at each of the points, okay? So, and just answer as many as you can in the first listening. If you listen to it a second time, then feel free to listen to it a second time to get down more of the information. And if you have the ability, so I'm not familiar with this, but would they have the ability to play the recording?
Twice.
Yeah. So they can play it twice. So in the first go, just try to note down as many of the answers as possible, because then you can focus on the ones where you need to double check afterwards. So we'll start with the name. So his surname is Mkere, and it's spelt Mkere. So Mkere. And yeah, so you can write that in. So an interesting point. So this is just very minor, but M for mother, some people say it, but it's not the standard phonetic alphabet. Normally you would say Mike, and some people say Maria, but most people say Mike for the letter M, so the standard phonetic alphabet, so like Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, etc. So we've got some very random words, so for the English one. 2, we've got to find the address. So we know that college is part of it. So we need to know the name of the place it's being collected from. That's Westall College. Westall. So West, it's like the two words West and All, but written together. Then we've got the postcode. So if you have a listening sample from the United States, for example, you'll hear zip code instead of postcode. So postcode you'll hear in a British English text, a British English recording. So, and the postcode we've got, he says this, BS89PU. That bit's done. And then the size of the container, so the length we've already got written down. So the width is 0.75 meters. The height is 0.5 meters. And then the contents, so the contents will be, so he mentions clothes, books, toys. So clothes is already written down. You just put some toys. And then the final answer is £1,700.
So as I remember, when I was preparing in the past to pass IELTS, I found really nice book where they gave like common. Of course, it's very easy, this task, but common mistakes, small ones, and because of which like you lose your points. For example, writing, you said 0. How do you say it? 0? Nil?
0 point.
Yeah, but you said in different word instead of 0. You said.
Oh, you can say naught.
Naught.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, be familiar with the different different names for things like, for example, that is a number. So, so it's naught or 0. So naught is a little bit older, more common in the UK than in the US. And there are variations on what you could say. So a lot of the time they might simply not say naught or zero. They might simply say 0.75. And that one you should also be careful with. So because they could say 0.75 or 0.5, or obviously they could mention it in terms of the fractions. They could say 3/4 of a meter or half a meter.
Sometimes I hear nil.
Yep, nil also exists. So nil is more common for sport, but you do see it in specific contexts. So for example, you will see it, when you go into an operation, for example, and you're required not to eat or drink for 12 hours before. Then you will see the phrase nil by mouth, for example, nil by mouth. So nil also exists, but it's a little bit more common in sports. So for example, Real Madrid beat Bayern Munich 2-0. So there it's a little bit more common in sports. So you've got nil, you've got 0, and you've got naught are the main ones. You can also hear, but this is only for reading long numbers. So like telephone numbers or credit card numbers, which is O. You might hear it. But that is really only for telephone numbers and credit card numbers. So when you're reading a really long number, you might say that in the UK too.
So common mistakes in this part, as I remember, can be, for example, you wrote instead of 0 point, you wrote 0 comma, right?
Yes. Yeah, so pretty much all of the English-speaking countries use a decimal point instead of a decimal comma. So I believe South Africa, it's a bit less clear which one they use. That they might use a decimal comma, but all of the other English-speaking countries use a decimal point. So always write a decimal point.
Plus, guys, please be careful. Even if you write down right answer, if your spelling is wrong, you will lose your point.
Yeah, exactly. So always be careful with the spelling, definitely. Okay, and just like I said, you may even hear them not say that word, naught or zero. You may hear them say point on its own, and that could trick you because you think, did I just miss a number, for example? Did they say 1.75 and I just didn't hear it? Or so I think that one's also quite confusing. So some people do say that. So 0.75 or point.
So guys, if you have any other advices about common mistakes, please write down them in the comments. It will be very useful for others to read those things which we did not mention in this video. And as usual, we invite you to write us on our social media or WhatsApp, and welcome to be our students online with our teachers from the UK and the US. Thank you. Bye.